Hey, thanks for joining our deep dive in 5 here at Christ Church of Flagstaff. This is day 6 of our 40 days of powerful worship experiences. And I'm just so glad you're tuning into this wherever it is. Would you take some time to make a comment or on a podcast or here on YouTube? Just leave us a review, some information that help this get better and share it with some friends. We are going through 40 days of powerful worship experiences because worship is when you and I put God in the center of our life and of our heart. And anything we do that puts God there, that's worship. And I want to ask you this question. When you hear the phrase, God is always with you, He's everywhere. Like wherever you are right now, you're listening to this on a treadmill in your garage, you're driving, you're sitting at home, wherever you are, God is there. Is that thought of God's presence comforting or frightening? Yeah, I grew up and the people around me, people at my church, even my parents at times, I think they were very good intention and they were awesome people. They loved me, but there was always this mindset that God's presence was there to catch me doing something wrong. And maybe that's just the way I interpret it. Maybe that's not even what they said or how they meant it. But the message I got at church and in different places, Sunday school, like, don't do that. God's watching. Don't cross this line. Don't actually one time, I remember one of our pastors during a week, we were at our church doing some stuff. Nobody else was there. And me and my brothers and my sister were running down a hallway. And he came out and he kind of was upset and frustrated. And he said, don't run in God's house. He's watching you. And that just made an impact to me. And I don't begrudge him. He wasn't a bad person. And maybe he even sees this. And no offense, man. But that made a picture that God was there to get me. That anytime I messed up, he was around the corner and he was going to jump out and go, gotcha. I caught you. And then you read verses like this. Psalm 139 is an incredible passage and poem from David, an ancient follower of God's. He says, where in Psalm 139:7, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, he's saying, if I go high, if life is good, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, when life is hard, when I'm depressed, when things are frustrating, God, you are there. Is God's presence comforting or frightening? I think it just depends on our perspective of God. Is he looking to get you or is he looking to catch you? There's that idea. Like I said, if I was doing something wrong, I felt like God was going to jump around the corner and go, gotcha. But now I've come to understand that God isn't trying to catch me doing wrong. He's trying to catch me when I fall. It's this much different tone of not that I did something wrong and God's like, you're in trouble. It's he's there, his presence. If I go to the high places, the great times, the low places, the hard times, even depression, frustration, anxiety, this situation our world is in right now, God is there. And he says, I gotcha. Not that he keeps a record or is holding things against us, but that when we need someone to hold us up, when we're falling, he catches us. I hope you're participating with our devotions that are part of this series, ccuf.church/2021. You can find these. They're embedded here wherever you're listening or watching this. And there are just some actions we want you to take. To listen to a song by Hillsong Young and Free called Highs and Lows, and just sit and think about that God has you, his presence. In the great times and in the hard times, his presence can be comforting. But it might mean you work on, and I have to work on, my view of him. See, God is for you. And I think if you do this activity today, you do these actions, you read this passage, it's listed here, Psalm 139, the part I read and some additional parts, you'll just take a little bit of a step towards God's presence. It's comforting.